Welcome back to the Onshape torch modelling videos. In this video we're going to create the part of the torch body that the switch cover clips into. So the first thing we're going to do is to create a new sketch on the right work plane. So right click on the right work plane, left click on new sketch, and then press N to view normal to it. Now we're going to be focusing in this area here, so we're just going to zoom in and concentrate on this bit. Now this is quite a complicated sketch, so it's important to follow this through really carefully. We're going to start off with the line tool, and we're going to start off right in this corner here. So we're going to draw a line up. It doesn't matter that it's not lined up with anything at the moment. We're just going to try and get the basic shape to start with. So as a vertical line, then a horizontal line, and I'm clicking and dragging as we go along. Come around to the end, do a diagonal, go back up, another vertical line, horizontal line, line down. Try and line that up with the bottom line, but it doesn't matter if it doesn't quite work. So we're going to leave that as part of the sketch for the moment. We're now going to use the coincidence tool, and we're just going to click on this bottom left hand line, and we're going to click on that corner so that that goes into there, which is what we want. Okay, so now let's put some dimensions on what we've done so far. By doing this in kind of the top part of the sketch and then the bottom part of the sketch, it does mean that it's a little bit easier to follow. So first of all, the height of this right hand line is 7.5 millimeters. And you see everything's moved, but that's okay. The length of this vertical line here is 4 millimeters. The length of the next line is 20 millimeters. The length of the end line is 2 millimeters. And let's put a couple of heights in as well. So this height here is 2.5, and this height over here is 2, and this height on the end is 4 millimeters. Now the other thing we need to do is we need to think about where this point here is. Now this point here needs to be lined up with this line, and it also needs to be lined up with this line. So click on the point and click on this left hand line, and then click on the point again and click on this line, and it brings it down. So that should be all the information that we need. Note that we've not dimensioned this angled line, but because we've got this line dimensioned both in length and height, and we've got this point here dimensioned in terms of how far away it is from here and height, that effectively has dimensioned that line, and you can see that instead of being blue it's black because it's fully defined. Okay, let's go back to our line tool now, and we'll draw in some lines along the bottom. So I'm going to draw a horizontal line, and then I'm basically going to draw a little step, and then I'm going to draw another horizontal line, and then I'm going to draw in another step, and then I'm going to go back to the corner. Again, we'll dimension these. So this end line here is 1.5 millimeters. The length of this step is 4.5 millimeters. The length of this line here is 5 millimeters. The length of this step is 5.5, and the height of these lines here should be 1.5 millimeters. Now because I lined these up with each other when I drew them, I only need to put the one dimension in, and that one has followed the height of that one. If you didn't do that, then just add an extra dimension to the height of one of these lines. And that's that sketch done. So it's quite a complicated sketch, but perhaps by breaking it down into the top part and then the bottom part, that's simplified that. We are now basically going to extrude that. We're going to add material, so click on extrude, make sure we've got add selected, and we want to select 22mm. Click on the tick and we can go to isometric, and we can see that that's gone off to one side. So what we wanted to do was to do that symmetric, so we can right click on extrude, left click on edit, and we can change the end condition from blind to symmetric, and you can see it move, and then click on the tick. So if you do get things wrong, it's very easy to go back and change things. Now this part here isn't actually solid on the torch, it's hollow. So we're going to right click on this surface here and select new sketch, and then we'll press N to view on top of it, and we're just simply going to draw a corner rectangle. So the corner rectangle is going to line up with this line here, and we're just going to drag that out, and then we'll add in some dimensions. And in fact we want to come 2.5mm in from the block. Okay, so that, if that's difficult for you to see, sorry, 2mm in from the edges, that's difficult for you to see, you can just tilt it round slightly so you can see what lines you're working to. Same on this side, change that to 2mm, and likewise the very end here to there also wants to be 2mm. And there we can see that there. So we're now going to extrude cut, so extrude remove, and we want a distance of 8.5, so change that to 8.5, hit enter, click on the tick, and you can see that we've got our cutout there. So that allows the switch to fit under here, and this is just a little cover that goes over and seals the switch, protects the switch, and adds a little bit of style to it as well. But it's a separate part because a nut needs to be done up on the switch. So we'll just view to isometric, and that's it for this video. We'll add some more features to the torch body in the next video. Thanks for watching.